Good evening, Word on Curb, Facebook family and friends. Welcome to our podcast this evening. I'm happy to be here with you. For those who are here for the first time, welcome. For those who are coming back, we're happy to have you back. Tonight, before I get started, my name is Annette. I am your host here at Word on Curb podcast. I'd like to thank my producers, Frank and Christina Sasso, who have been instrumental in keeping me in the game of podcasting. It's been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to much success and leveling up. Tonight, to all of my listeners in the path of Hurricane Milton, I am sending heartfelt prayers for your safety and well being. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and know that you are in the hearts and minds of Word on the Curb podcast listeners in New Jersey. Thank you. Be safe. We care. Tonight, we're talking about boxing with shadows. Before we get into that, I'd like to send light and love to anybody who is suffering loss at this time. Anybody. And those of us who have understand. This past month has been very nostalgic for me in the loss of my twin sister years ago and my mother even many more years. Can nothing beat a mother's love? And I'm telling you that it comes and goes. It comes and goes in waves. We can't predict how or when it's going to happen. But the holidays, as they approach, are usually a tough time for me. And so, to all of you suffering loss, I just want to tell you that day by day, take your time. Nobody can tell you how to grieve. Nobody can tell you how long you're going to grieve. And nobody can certainly go through that grief but you. As much as people love you, they can't do it for you. Hang in there. I know what it's like. I've been there. To small entrepreneurs everywhere, to my daughter Jasna, my daughters Jasna and Amaris, keep going. Sister Skate Travel Company, your seasoning business, your food business, and all of your business is all right. Keep going, darlings. For every small entrepreneur, keep going. Alicia Robinson Carter, you better start making massive batches of that sweet potato pie that I had a chance to taste test live. You heard the people. You saw them. Drink water, eat fruit, moisturize your feet, hands, and face. And now I'm learning the neck and mind your business. That's important. To our elected officials everywhere, people don't realize how tough your job is, and they want you to be able to perform miracles. And what nobody seems to get when they are waxing philosophy about elected officials and or the work that they've done, elected officials can only work with what they have at the table. And by that I mean there are populations everywhere. Texas, Houston, Texas is doing it. They have a population prepared to do it. Trenton has to do better at preparing our population, and our population has to be willing. Okay? Take that to the bank. You want to wax with me? Join me on my podcast. I love it. Please consider it. Tonight, we're talking about boxing with shadows. And what that simply means is this: it's wasting time and being distracted with people who are dealing with a multitude of things. It doesn't matter. Being distracted with those who are suffering with their wounded inner child, being distracted by those who are suffering anger because of past hurts, being distracted by people who don't understand solidarity and partnership, being distracted by people who want to do things but make no movement to do it, and criticize those who are. I'm talking about some of those people who are waxing about different issues and they've never sat in the seat. If you haven't walked in the shoes until you do, be careful about what you talk about because sometimes, you know, you don't always get it right. Of course, your opinion matters, but that's all it is. And we all have one. Keep working at it. But being distracted, and we so easily get distracted and start boxing with shadows. That's distraction and drama. Do you know what your triggers are? Do you know what some of the common traps are? We're going to talk about that. You got to learn how to punch with purpose, baby. So let's get into it. On the job, and I talk about every place that we could possibly be on a job, with our families, with our friends, with our social circles, with our business partners, in politics. Oh, politics is a huge distraction because, as I said earlier, some folks who have never been in the game want to wax about the game. And so we're easily distracted by that. We're easily distracted when things aren't going our way and we start screaming about what people aren't doing. And so my question would be, what are you doing? Right? Don't be so easily distracted. We talked about that. We talk about that often, about how easily we are, in fact, distracted. So, boxing with shadows simply means wasting your time on people, places, and things, drama and distraction, the two D's, drama and distraction. And it can happen easily. It can happen on the job. It can happen anywhere. You know how we get distracted when things go wrong on the job? And we start yelling and screaming about what the employer isn't doing. If you guys would simply practice some solidarity and stop trying to one up each other, I promise you, your employer will stop all of their nonsense if you'll just stop being distracted and stop being in drama. It'll stop. My social circles change and they level up as my journey changes and levels up. Um, I don't want to be distracted and in drama with anybody. I don't. I don't care who you are. I don't think I'm better than you. I want better than that. And it's okay to want better than that. Don't be distracted. It's a fool's game. It's a fool's game because most of the people who are attempting to distract you aren't doing anything. You know that old adage, thieves don't break into empty houses? That's unless they want the pipes and the heating system, and some of them do, right? But thieves don't break into empty houses. People don't come after you if you're not doing something that they can't do or they want to do or that they're jealous that you're doing. They won't come after you. People who are not intimidated by that won't come after you because they'll be trying to learn from you. Don't be distracted by drama. Don't be distracted by drama. And it's everywhere. It's even in marriages. Yeah, that might be a topic for another day because it's a sensitive one for those who are distracted. Okay? It's a very sensitive one. So it doesn't matter where you are, drama and distractions will find you. How you deal with it is going to be important because that's what we mean. Excuse me, allergies. When we say we don't box with shadows, stay away from drama. Stay away from people who bring drama. And some of you like drama. You like being involved in that. You like knowing everything. Hey, I can tell you emphatically and without reservation, you don't want all that drama because it's really okay when it's somebody else, but when it's your turn, those tables flip. Stay away from drama and distractions, right? That's number one. Spot the shadows. You gotta know who, what, where, when, and how. You have to know that. If you're not aware enough, if you're not astute enough to understand where those shadows are, you're going to constantly be boxing. Sometimes I can see the shadows a mile off. And sometimes I let them get a little bit closer than they need to get. But I don't box with shadows and I don't take hostages. Anything I get in, I'm going to be in it to win it. So there's some things I have to stay out of. Doesn't mean I'm afraid to deal with it. It doesn't mean that I don't have a thought or an opinion, which everybody has about it. It just means that it, you, them, or they are not worth my time. I said hydrate. Water is good for the skin. So be able to spot those shadows, know what they are, recognize people for who they are. And listen, Maya Angelou said, don't make them show you twice. Once they show you who and what they are, believe them. Don't question it. Believe it. Get away from that distraction. People, places, and things. Family, friends, or foe. Business partners, employees, employers. Get away from it. Number two, catch your triggers. I have some triggers, and so do you. I have some weaknesses, and so do you. Catch them. I was in a situation recently that could have gone all the way left, but I eventually caught myself and realized that's a distraction. That's drama. It's not worth it. When people do things, they know that they're doing them. They do. Catch your triggers and recognize common traps like social media spats, right? Or people pleasing. Sometimes we tend to get into that. Those are triggers. When you're trying to please people more than you're trying to please yourself, and I was doing that. I was tiptoeing around somebody who was extraordinarily sensitive and thought everything was about them. And so I was tiptoeing around them because I wanted them to be comfortable and I didn't want them to think, you know what, now think what you will, right? Because those are triggers. And when you work hard and you're tiptoeing, eventually you get sick of it. I know I did. And so will you. So spot your shadows, know who they are. That's what we mean by spotting them, not spotting to box, spotting to walk away. That's right. And not be involved. Catch your triggers, know what they are. A lot of stuff happens on social media. People plant stuff on social media is Hollywood. Why are you distracted by things that are embellished and often not true? You can spot authenticity, you can spot consistency, you can. But social media is Hollywood and it's meant to be social. And we sometimes just take it far too serious. We do. Our feelings get hurt about the least little thing. Not mine. Christina Sasso will tell you that one of my weaknesses and strengths, depending on which side of the coin you are on, I don't care too much about things that are distractions and drama. I don't. Doesn't matter who it's with. I don't. Peace is a lifestyle, baby, and I've been practicing peace a long time. And sometimes you can bring the drama in with you and not realize it, but as soon as you do, help it make its way out. Catch your triggers. People pleasing and media spats are two of the biggest. That's right. And the other thing is using your energy wisely, right? Setting boundaries and staying focused and aiming for real results. Sometimes we're aiming for things and we don't even know what those things are because we're not focused. We're distracted. We're practicing drama or participating in it, one or the other. That's called boxing with shadows, right? Punch with a purpose, baby. Pay attention to what you're doing. Don't make moves that are not going to bring you any real results for you. That's right, for you, not for them, for you. Remember that. Use your energy wisely. Once you spot them, don't make them prove it. Once you spot that drama and distraction, have an exit plan ready to go. When you know what you're going to do in certain situations, you behave well in those situations. You do. We all lose our temper sometimes. I told you, I just recently went through something where I lost mine because I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that there was some mess in the game. I knew it. I knew it. And so, watch those people also who play victim. That's a drama and distraction. Watch those people, places, and things that create drama. Watch out for those people who do the dirt and then try to throw the dirt on others. Watch that. Watch people who will be in a situation with somebody that they're chummy chummy with as long as it's transactional. That means as long as you can do something for them, right? Watch those people. Watch how they move when you can't do anything for them. Watch those dramas and distractions. So, one, spot the shadows. Two, catch your triggers. Don't worry about theirs, catch yours. Know what they are. What triggers you? Your conversations about your dad, conversations about your mom, conversations about your lack of, conversations about whatever. Watch what triggers you, right? Know your triggers and catch them, and always punch with a purpose. And that means figuratively, not literally. Punch with a purpose. Don't move, don't act, don't respond without a purpose. And as soon, if you don't know what it is in the heat of the moment, step back and breathe a little bit. I promise you, I promise you that breath will give you life. Just take it. Watch your triggers, spot your shadows, and know what you're doing. Have a good evening. My name is Annette here at Word on Curve. Thank you again for joining me.